Good morning, friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I decided to take a little break from my normal project life and card making. I went on a bit of a binge. I have been looking at this paper pad for a very long time. It's quite old. It's a Michaels brand paper, and I used a lot of the papers in it that I liked. A lot of the ones that are left, I'm like not entirely sure how I'm going to use them. But I also had a massive amount of scraps. So I store my paper and paper pads in just these dollar store large, extra large bags. And they fit an entire pad of paper, which is fantastic, with a lot of room actually left over. And they're not difficult to get in and out of the bag, which I really like. So I thought I would come on and show you what I did with all the scraps that were in this bag. I decided to start with just embellishing some little paper bags. Nothing too fancy there. These have like a little pocket on the front, which I will probably use for some of the little tags that I made. So those were some of the bigger scraps that I used. I made these tags, which I'm really quite happy with. And that's just black cardstock on the back. And I used my little eyelets. There are actually quite a lot of words in this paper pad, and the words is what I was really struggling with using. So, and like random cutter parts, I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. And then these tags, I'll probably go through and ink them, but I did these fairly late at night last night, and I was just kind of in a zone, so I didn't bother inking anything. I also went through some of my larger scraps and cut some paper down to 4x6 and 3x4 journal card size. And as you can see, it's very thin paper. It's probably about the same weight as copy paper, which is why I will probably mount those on some cardstock. So this was basically where I went on my journey. I made some Frankenpapers. The first one I made of these was quite a few years ago. I made it for a swap, and I really ended up liking this paper, so I kept it. But basically, you just go through with a glue stick or some liquid glue, and you glue stuff, which is fantastic. The reason I started is because that particular paper pad has a lot of really large images like this, and the positioning of the images was like not really something that I would have been able to use in my project lifing. So yeah, that one, as you could see, was double-sided. I just kind of followed Nick the Booksmith's tutorial, and I haven't finished all the edges or anything yet. This is also a really great way to use up some of your washi tape, because this is washi tape up here. And I have a lot of Tim Holtz stamps and washi and little ephemera, but I don't have any paper to go with it. So I thought this was kind of a good way to fix that. So these are the Frankenpapers that I made yesterday. And as you can see, I just mounted them on black cardstock. I thought black was probably the better choice. If you really wanted to, you could double side them, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do with these yet. So that's one. Here's another one. This is the other reason I wanted to use the scraps, because a lot of the paper pad has quite large images, and they're really not images you would use in your everyday. It's another one with black cardstock on the back. They all do, so. Yeah. I really like this one, actually. And this one. It's that bicycle again. I think each of those papers has like 3 copies, or three copies, yes, of that particular paper. So those were those. And then I also went through, and there's a couple of really cool, I'm going to call them cut apart or collage sheets. And there's also lots of words. So I just, again, I mounted them on some cardstock, and I just started fussy cutting. And I also got a couple of my circle punches out and did that for a couple of the ones that are left. So I still have oodles of paper to work with in here. But I thought I would come on and kind of show you. If you've got one of those Michaels or even dollar store paper pads, that's the really thin, flimsy paper, don't write it off. They're great for collaging. They're great for Frankenpapers. And they're great for things like tag making. And if you're into junk journaling, they're great for that because they don't add a lot of bulk to your projects. And, you know, if you happen to have some paper bags, this is kind of what I was thinking I might do up. Maybe for a craft show. I don't really know yet. But the point is, you know, there's all sorts of different uses for these. So get in there, use your scraps, and have a play. I feel like sometimes you just need to get into your crafty space and do what brings you joy. So there you go. All right, friends, as always, thanks for coming to hang out with me, and I will see you next video. Bye for now.